Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of our Listen to the Missus podcasts, coming to you from the studios of WSGW Radio in Saginaw, Michigan. And I'm Art Lewis.
I'm Ann Williams.
And we are the hosts of the podcast and the former hosts of the live program, which, by the way, was carried on WSGW for better than 62 years. Quite a long time. And love talking about food and all that good stuff. And at the end of the show, at the end of the podcast, we'll tell you how you can get in touch with us because we still like to answer questions and all that good stuff.
Yes, we do.
Anyway, lots of things to talk about today, all kinds of things in the news, some good recipes and all of that. We are all hooked, maybe I shouldn't say all, but a lot of people are hooked on these competition television shows. I mean, if you turn on the Food Network anytime.
Well, they've turned to almost all food competition
It
shows,
seems that way, doesn't it?
Which is, it's a little too much for me, to be honest.
It is, yeah. Well, Netflix is getting into the act. Netflix is launching a new cooking competition show called Crazy Delicious. And the host, speaking of crazy, is Chef Carla Hall.
Oh, I like her.
I like her. She's fun.
yes.
She is fun.
Yes, she is.
It's a new Netflix show. It'll start in the U.S. next year. And it's going to be hosted by Carla Hall, also Nicholas Eckstedt, and Heston Blumenthal. The show was going to air in the U.K. first, and then it will come to Netflix worldwide in early 2020. It's going to consist of 6 episodes. So, according to the press release, viewers will watch everyday meals turn into something very crazy delicious. So you're going to take basic food and turn it into something phenomenal. It's an edible set. It's described as the first edible set in the world.
Oh, really? What's that? Meat furniture?
Teeming, I don't know, teeming with produce, herbs, liquids, and more ready and waiting to be added for delicious meals. 3 cooks will compete to put together dishes that are a taste sensation and a feast for the eyes. Yeah, well, that's what they all do. So anyway, there it is. If you can't get your fill of cooking shows and you have Netflix, early 2020, you'll be able to watch a brand new one.
They have quite a few good cooking shows on Netflix.
Do they really? I don't have Netflix.
Yeah, I have it, and they have quite a few.
Oh, no
And they're
kidding.
not all competition. Some are just, about different food things.
educational and good stuff.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Well, I have something here, a Taco Bell. They really experiment a lot with new menu items at food all the fast food restaurants do, but Taco Bell in particular comes up with some interesting things, and they are test marketing right now a chicken strip which it's coated in little bits of tortilla chips. It's called Crispy Tortilla Chicken, and they're testing it right now in Houston, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio first. And they're going to launch it nationwide this coming summer, the summer of 2020. And what it is, it's white meat chicken marinated in a jalapeno buttermilk and then coated in crunchy tortilla chips. It's going to be served with a signature dipping sauce. And also, they're going to take these strips and incorporate them into some of their other menu items, such as their tacos. So you could get a taco with these chicken tortilla chip strips in it. I was intrigued by this. I think this sounds like it might be tasty. And I look forward to trying it. So this summer, nationwide, right now, Houston, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio.
All right.
Yeah.
Very good. Largest milk producer in the country is Dean's Foods. They're going to file for bankruptcy. And apparently it's because we, the public, have turned our attention to nut milks.
So many different alternative milks.
Alternative milks?
Not just nut, but oat
This
other ones.
This article, I'm almost afraid to read this the way they describe it, but it's a little biased. The article says, pretty much all the big guys are having to face the fact that Americans no longer want to drink milk and other dairy products derived from filthy feedlot animals that are force-fed, genetically modified organisms, etc.
That sounds a little biased, but...
Just a little biased, don't you think? But regardless, Dean's Food is filing for bankruptcy, looking to re-establish $850 million in debt, and are looking then, after they get the company in order, looking to sell it. So, but for now, anyway, I think you'll still find Dean's milk on the shelves. So there you go.
Well, I have another fast food meal here to talk about. Hardee's. We don't have. I don't know. I think there's
I don't think there's
Hardee's.
one around.
There might be one inside. I think I
Are
read
they
this.
attached to Rallies?
No.
Is that the same, or am I thinking of something else?
No, I think there might be an outlet inside of the one of our gas stations, the Love's out in Bridgeport. I thought
maybe
I saw,
a new one.
I haven't been in there, but I thought I saw that they had a
that's
Hardee's.
the new
in it.
one on.
Yeah.
Okay.
But at any rate, we used to have Hardee's around here, but they are across the country. You may have it at where you are, but they have a Thanksgiving meal in a box that you can order right now. It includes stuffing chicken tenders, sweet potato waffle fries, toasted onion green beans, and savory chicken gravy. That's what you get in the Thanksgiving box.
Oh.
It's so it's a white meat chicken hand breaded with sage and herb stuffing, and it pairs well with this gravy that's in there, the savory chicken gravy. The green bean dish is a toasted onion coated green bean, which is a spin on a green bean casserole. So if you just are in the mood, you just love Thanksgiving and you want it for your fast food meal, you can order that there. That's one.
Here's one for you. Two well-known names internationally, Gordon Ramsay and David Beckham. It's not the first time they've teamed up. They've had business ventures in the past, but this time they are working together to open up a London-themed resort in Macau, China.
Oh, wow.
Complete with replicas of Big Ben and the Palace of Westminster. And the part of it, 2 floors of suites, will be designed by David Beckham. And it's called the Londoner Macau. And it will reflect the best of British design as well as David Beckham's own style. There's going to be all kinds of iconic London things like their phone booths, red buses, black taxis, and pubs, just to name a few. The Londoner Macau will have all the best parts of London culture represented. And obviously, since Gordon Ramsay's involved, there'll be some kind of expensive food at the restaurant, I'm sure. Absolutely. He's going to be opening a gastro pub in conjunction with the resort. And it's just another location for Gordon Ramsay. So Ramsay and Beckham getting together. If you happen to go to Macau, China over the next couple of years, you could maybe stay at the Londoner Macau.
Use a cocktail stick.
Have
you seen that commercial with Gordon Ramsay? Anyway, just had to throw that in there.
Yeah, I wonder what they paid him for that.
Yeah. Well, ran across this in our local paper. There's a job out here. You can apply for it online. Someplace called CenturyLink, but it's a sweepstakes where you can get paid, if you really love Christmas movies, to watch Hallmark Christmas movies. It's the Hallmark movie dream job. They want someone to binge watch 24 Hallmark Christmas movies in 12 days.
Why?
For $1,000. That's the price.
They'd have to pay me.
Yeah. It says, we're looking for a lover of all things Christmas, G-rated rom-coms, and too close to home family dramas to watch 24 movies in 12 days.
What do you have to do to earn the $1,000 other than watch the movies?
That's pretty much it. They don't care.
You
where
don't have to write
it.
a report?
Oh, you have to kind of document it on social media.
Oh, okay.
You have until December 25th to binge watch the movies and post about them on social media using the hashtag countdown to Christmas and Hallmark Dream Job in each post.
I figured Hallmark was going to get mentioned there somehow.
You have to be able to use Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to document your feelings and critiques about the movies. If you win, you get the $1,000 plus a streaming service subscription, a packet of hot cocoa, a box of Christmas cookies, a string of fairy lights, a mini Christmas tree, and a Hallmark swag, some Hallmark swag.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah, so somebody might find that interesting.
Well, here's one for you. We have been inundated with commercials about the Impossible Whopper.
They're everywhere.
Burger,
it's even in the grocery stores.
And now there's new other imitation meats at other places.
Yeah.
Well, look out, Burger King, because a vegan man is suing Burger King because the Impossible Whopper is cooked on the same broiler as meat.
Well, they shouldn't be doing that if they are.
If it's pure vegan, well, yeah, everything goes in the flame broiler,
Yeah.
I think,
They should have a separate
You should have lost
place
suit.
to cook that.
He feels the company has misled vegetarian customers by cooking the Impossible Whopper on the same stove as its meats patties, therefore contaminating the Impossible meats with real meat. According to the suit, he said he heard about the plant-based burger and decided to try it in Atlanta, Georgia, ordered it through the drive-thru with no mayo, ate it, only to find out later he consumed a meat-free Whopper patty that was in fact covered in meat byproduct. He issued the complaint in Florida this week over Burger King's deceptive and unlawful conduct, according to the suit, and makes mention of Burger King's 0% beef advertising that implies no meat and no meat byproducts. Therefore,
Well, I mean, it seems it's a lot to be filing a lawsuit, but I can understand if you're vegan or vegetarian, you don't want to eat meat, and they, if they're selling it as such, they shouldn't be cooking
I
it
agree.
with meat.
If they're saying it's 0% beef, then it has to have no beef. We were talking about this earlier today on the Morning Team show here on WSGW Radio, where I suggested that it's, listen, they've got to do it very much like we do. If you are Orthodox Jew and you are kosher, for example, when you go into a kosher kitchen, you have two parts of it. You have the part where kosher food is prepared and the part where non-kosher food is prepared, and never the twain shall meet.
Right.
Not the serving appliances, not the knives, nothing gets cross-contaminated. And that's what you have to do. I guess if you're going to say it's vegan, it better be vegan.
Yeah.
We'll find out what happens to the lawsuit, but so far he's just filing it now. We'll see. And it's a class action. He wants to file a class action.
Okay.
So there you go.
Well, how about recipe time?
Sure.
Went back into our Listen to the Mrs. Files and found a couple really good ones. This one is a good dinner recipe and would feed a crowd too. Reuben lasagna, a little twist on lasagna.
Ooh.
Most people love lasagna and lots of people love Reubens.
I sense corned beef coming.
Yes. So this calls for 27 ounces of sauerkraut, which you rinse, and then a can of cream of mushroom soup, 1 1/4 cups of milk, a teaspoon of dry mustard, 4 ounces of shredded Swiss cheese, a tablespoon of butter, and here comes 1 pound of sliced corned beef, 8 ounces of Thousand Island dressing, 1 medium onion chopped, 9 lasagna noodles uncooked, and a 1/2 cup of plain breadcrumbs. So what you do is preheat the oven to 350, combine the drained sauerkraut and the chopped corned beef. In another bowl, you want to combine the soup, the dressing, the milk, the onion, and mustard. Mix that all well. Spread it in 1/3 of that mixture into a 9 by 13 inch pan. Put 3 lasagna noodles on top of that. Top it with 1/3 of the meat mixture, and then repeat the layers twice. On top, you want to sprinkle the cheese. Then you mix your breadcrumbs and butter, sprinkle that over the top. And this is baked, covered, for 45 to 50 minutes. And you want to let it stand about 10 minutes before you cut it and serve.
Wonderful.
Sounds pretty good, eh?
Does indeed. I'm glad you said sliced corned beef. I was ready to jump in if you said canned corned beef, and I just was, no,
Yeah.
don't like that stuff. Much
Want a
rather
dessert
use-
recipe real fast?
Well, absolutely, after that delicious lasagna.
Well, how about grasshopper cake? You like chocolate and mint, right?
Oh, yes.
That's what's involved here. It's a box of white cake mix, a can of hot fudge topping, a 1/4 cup of green creme de menthe,
Wow.
a 1/4 cup of green creme de menthe. I guess you want altogether a 1/2 cup or 2 separate quarters. Separated, it's divided.
Yeah.
And 8 ounces of Cool Whip. You prepare the cake mix first as directed and add a 1/4 cup of that creme de menthe to the batter. You let it cool and then heat up your fudge topping to soften it. Spread that over the cool cake. Then you combine the Cool Whip and the rest of that other quarter cup of creme de menthe, that's where it goes, into the Cool Whip. That gets spread over the hot fudge.
Be green in color, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And then you refrigerate this before you serve it. That sounds pretty good.
It does.
Grasshopper cake.
Wow. All right, my grasshopper. Remember that movie?
Yes.
All right.
Kung Fu, right?
Yeah, Kung Fu is right. That'll do it for this edition of Listen to the Missus, our podcast. A couple of reminders for you. First of all, if you happen to be in the Saginaw, Michigan area, in the Great Lakes Bay region of Michigan, we are having a cupcake baking contest on December 11th at the Maytag store here in Saginaw. Deadline to enter is on December 4th, and entry is simple. You go to WSGW.com, click on the word contest on the toolbar, and then click on the cupcake box and fill out the form, submit your recipe. 8 finalists will be chosen to compete on site for cash prizes, $200 for first, $100 for second, $50 for third, and our folks at Michigan Sugar, Pioneer Sugar, will have a nice apron for you. Again, the contest is December 11th. Deadline to enter is December 4th. It is lots of fun. And tell them how they can get a hold of us if they have any questions for us.
Well, you can reach us through our Facebook page, Listen to the Missus Facebook page. You can also contact us through the WSGW website. Listen to the Missus has its own page. You can email us as well. My email address is ann@WSGW.com.
And mine is artlewis at WSGW.com. Love to hear from you.
We would.
And we'll talk to you again down the road. I'm Art Lewis.
I'm Ann Williams.
Thanks for being with us on this edition of our Listen to the Missus podcast.